Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
So we are assembled here at this sacred place, Kanchipuram. It's already been explained to you what is the significance of this holy place. When we go to a holy place, we should hear about its glories. That's called the Tirtha Mahatmyam. And according to our development in spiritual consciousness, that much we can appreciate what is the value of a holy place. As you know, the Lord, the Perumal here, is known as Varadaraja. Sorry, Varadaraja. Varadarajas. So people come here for varam, for getting some benediction. According to our development in consciousness, we will ask for a particular kind of varam, or benediction. The Lord is pleased to give benedictions to those who request them. But what is that benediction that we should request from Him? On His hand is the varam, it's written the benediction that He wants to give to all jivas, which is known in the Vaishnava Sampradaya here as the Charam Shlok of Bhagavad Gita, in which the Lord states that giving up all other kind of dharmas, you take full shelter in me, and I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Ma shuchaha. This material world is the place of fear, but the Lord is standing in Abhay Mudram. Do not fear. You saw this? Abhay Mudram. Don't be afraid. He will protect. So this is the best benediction that the Lord can give. Many people come to Him for material benedictions, but those who are actually intelligent, they do not ask for any material benediction. When the Lord appeared as Nrsimhadev, after killing Hiranyakashipu, He asked Prahlad, that Bhakta Prahlad, then what do you want from me? Now I shall give you some benediction. What do you want from me? And Bhakta Prahlad became a little angry with the Lord. Nrsimhadev is famous for being very angry. Ramba Kopam. Too much angry. So he was so angry that even Lakshmi was afraid to go before him. Even Brahma and all the devas, they were afraid to go before him. So they pushed Prahlad, you go and cool him down. Because he was so angry, even after killing Hiranyakashipu, he didn't cool down very quickly. Who has been to Simhachalam in the north of Andhra Pradesh? Who's been there? No, Hobalam is in south. Simhachalam is the temple of Lakshmi Varaha Narasimha Swami. There. In that new book I made, there's a description of Simhachalam. So there, the Lord Narasimha Swami is so hot that they keep him under Chandan 364 days a year. And only on the Akshaya Tritiya, which just when only on that one day, they break the Chandan, everyone can have darshan, and then again they put Chandan for one more year. So it actually looks like a big Shiva Lingam, but underneath is the form of the Lord. So anyway, the point is that the Lord Nrsimhadev is famous for being transcendentally angry. Divya Kopam. So when he cooled down a bit and he said, alright Prahlad, now what do you want from me? I'll give you some varam, some benediction. And Prahlad became angry with him. That I didn't worship you for some business that I'll call you and you have to give me something. The Lord is giving benedictions because we have some desire, isn't it? But Prahlad said to Nrsimhadev that Yadi dasyasi me kamang varang shavaridharshava Kamanam hridya sangroham bhavatastu vreneva varam. He said that if you want to give me some varam means you shall fill all the desires, but he said you remove all the desires from my heart. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught this also. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kame. Mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhakti rahaitu ki tvai. So many people are coming here and praying to the Lord, but we should pray to Him for the benediction that may all our material desires be removed so that we can serve Him in the best possible manner. The Lord here has a very sweet, smiling face, so we can pray for the benediction that may the sweet, smiling face of the Lord ever be present in my consciousness. May I always remember this beautiful form of the Lord. As Prahlad Maharaj said, our only desire is to be the dasa of the Lord, to be His servant. So, another word for dasa that's very popular among the Tamil Vaishnavas is kinkaram. Kinkar. So kinkara means personal servant, to do some personal service for the Lord. They very kindly gave us the opportunity to fan Lakshmi Devi, Sri. This is called kainkarya, personal service. So the Lord is so kind that He gives us the chance to personally serve Him. There are unlimited jivas, but the Lord is so kind, He gives us every single jiva the opportunity to personally serve Him. When we first came, because they'll offer some benediction, the priests will offer some benediction on behalf of the Lord by saying some prayers. So they will ask, what is our gotram? So some of us are in gotra, some of us are not, especially those from the Western countries. We're not in any gotra. We're in, Chandala. There's not any gotra. But we're all Achyuta gotra. That means that we stopped thinking that we're in any material gotra. Gotra means family line or dynasties. So everyone identifies with their material situation. But when one identifies that I am the servant of Krishna, then he is accepted into the Achyuta Gotra. Now from the materialistic consideration, the Achyuta Gotram, that is considered, well, that's for very low class people who don't have any Gotra, and they just say, well, we're Achyuta Gotra. But actually this Achyuta Gotra, that is beyond all mundane Gotras. Who's in which Gotra? Which body is your Gotra in? Who can say? Someone like to say? Huh? Gautam Gotra. Gautam is a very famous one. Agastya, Vishwamitra. Huh? Bringi Maharishi. Then there's, what's the name of that one who's given? Apastamba. So there are various gotras. But these are all Chuta Gotra. That means Chuta means that which gets broken. So one may be in a very good Gotra in this life, but if he doesn't come to the Achyuta Gotra, then he'll fall down into some other species of life. So Achyuta means he who is never subject, he who never falls down, who is never subject to Maya, who is not subject to the three modes of material nature, Sattva, Raja, Tama. So actually the position of a Vaishnava is above all others because that is a completely spiritual position. Now that doesn't mean that someone should think, now I've taken Vaishnava Diksha and now I think I'm better than everyone and become very proud. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that Vaishnava's principal symptom is his humility. Junadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnana Amanina amanadena kirtaniya sadana. We cannot be servants of the Lord unless we are humble. The mentality of an asura described in Bhagavad Gita is to be very proud. Which word did you use? Garva. Yeah. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Dambho, Darpo, Vimanascha, Krodha, Parusham, Evacha, Ajnana Chabhijatasya, Partha, Sampadam, Asurim. So he uses these words, Dambha. This has a Tamil equivalent. That word is there, but not used much. Dambha, Darpa, Abhiman. So these are words which means pride, arrogance, and Abhimanam, that's the Krodha. Parusha means harsh speech. Then Ajnana Chabhijatasya, the asuric pravritti is ignorant. He may be a PhD or an MSc or something like this, but he doesn't know his relationship with Krishna. Therefore he's an ignorant fool. So a devotee is not proud, but actually a devotee's position is better than that of any person, because he's in the shelter of Achyuta Sharan. There are so many religions being preached all over the world, but this Shuddha Vaishnava Dharma, you want to relax for a bit? This Shuddha Vaishnava Dharma, that is the only transcendental religious process. All religions, they're all for getting some materialistic varam or benediction. We see that there are many Christian organizations preaching nowadays. And they say, you come and pray and you see, you'll pass your exam. Or you come and join our church and we'll give you 1 chicken every Sunday. Or anyway, if you become a Christian, then you have facilities from the government. So by mundane vara, they're trying to catch people. And in so-called Hinduism also. People, they go to these so-called gurus and self-made bhagawans for what I can get for my material sense gratification. But this so-called religion is all based on a serious mistake. It's based on the concept that we should be happy in this material world. And that Bhagavan or God, His duty is to supply our sense gratification. Even they have the idea we shall go to heaven and God will make facilities for us to enjoy there. Maybe free chicken 7 days a week or something like that. But transcendental religion means to understand that we are not supposed to try to engage Him in our service, but we are supposed to be surrendered servants for His pleasure only. That we serve Him because He is so glorious, He is so beautiful, He is so kind, and the real servant does not ask anything from Bhagavan. He only asks for the benediction to be engaged in His service and in the service of His devotees. Bhagavan is always happy. He doesn't require our service, but He very kindly gives us the opportunity to engage in His service, so that we can become happy by serving Him. It is natural for us to desire to be happy, because Mamai Vangsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. We are of the same nature of the Lord, who is always happy. But the idea that we shall be happy without surrendering to Him, without engaging in His service only for His pleasure, this is called Maya. So the atheists, those who deny the existence of Bhagavan, they're in Maya. And those who say that the Brahman is Nirgun, Niraka, they're also in Maya, because it's not correct. Those who say that Param Brahma has no form, no shape, no color, no personality, they're also in Maya. And those who worship the Lord for material benedictions, that give me a new car, nice house, more money, American visa, and all this kind of thing, they're also in Maya. Now, that's not as bad a position as those who deny the Supreme Lord or who deny His personality. But that is not the transcendental position. That is not very pleasing to the Lord. What is very pleasing to Him is if we simply desire to serve Him for His pleasure. And unless we desire to serve Him for His pleasure, then we are likely to, in the name of serving Bhagavan, we will invent many strange philosophies. Now previously these great holy places were not simply places of archan, but they were also great centers of Vedic study. In fact, this Vadagalai, Tengalai, here is the capital of the Vadagalai, you could say. So there's some difference, but that is a philosophical difference. So previously there were so many great scholars of Shastra, because they considered it important that we should understand who is the Lord as much as He gives us intelligence to understand Him. And we should understand why we should serve Him, in which mood we should serve Him, what is satisfying to Him. All these points have to be understood very clearly. Otherwise, if we don't understand what He wants and how to serve Him, we may do some disservice. Just like if you come here in the winter, you may think, let me serve my master, I will give him. He may ask for hot water in the winter. You will give some hot water for bath. So if you come in this season, you think, 6 months ago, he asked for hot water bath. Okay, give him hot water again. In this season. That is foolishness. So we have to understand He is the Supreme Person. He desires to be served in very particular ways. Now, unless we understand all these points very clearly, then we will become subjected to be misled by some sentimentalism and foolishness. And it's with great sorrow that I see that many persons coming in very great families who have been worshipping the Lord in the line of Sri Ramanujacharya, that many are now, they're worshipping this Sai Baba or some Kalki avatar or some nonsense thing. So we can understand this because there's the shiksha, or the proper instruction, that parampara that's not going on in the way that it used to go on. It's not to blame. We have the greatest respect for these great persons who, generation after generation, are serving the Lord. But we should take a lesson that we should serve the Lord and also hear and study the scriptures that have been given by Him to help us understand Him. I'd like to say many more things, but I can see you're all very tired. So anyway, I can ask for this benediction, and you can also pray that you please ask the Lord to bless me, that I may engage in the service of Srila Prabhupada and go on speaking these things for many more years. But just now, seeing that you're all quite tired after a long day, we'll finish here, and you please go and take rest. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. One thing is, you might also, we're visiting many temples, but it's a good, you can't give, big donation in every temple, but it's nice to give some little something, even if it's 1 or 2 rupees or something on the plate. Those who are grihastas earning money. Hare Krishna. Any question? No question. You're all fully convinced. All right. So what should we ask from the Lord? Now you've come here, He's ready to give, to engage in His service. In ISKCON.
Always engage in Krishna.
Always engage in Krishna's service. Smartavya satatam Vishnu. Never forget Krishna. Always think of Krishna. Manmana bhavavad bhakto madhyaji mang namaskuru mame vaishasi satyam te pratijane priyosine. Krishnarte akila cheshta. Everything, all our endeavors should be for the satisfaction of Krishna. So we can pray like this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we offer our respects to the holy priests whose, for generation after generation, their families are engaged in the service of the Lord. So they've very nicely welcomed us here. So we beg for they're engaged in the service of the Lord who is giving benediction, so we can ask them for